Yeah, hey Matt, what was your view on halftime after they made the four threes in the last 2.5 minutes? Did you view that like the Minnesota game where you didn't think that was going to be sustainable for the rest of the half, or what was kind of your view on it?
Yeah, well, we overran our help on one of them when Ty Berry hit the corner three. Chase Audige hit the three off the ball screen. Our big was too deep, and our guard didn't stay into the basketball. The other two, one was just a triple threat by Pete Nance, and we just didn't have our hand up. We should have just discouraged him from shooting by having our hand up. And I can't recall the other three. So it was like, all separate, individual plays, and just had some breakdown, in those areas. But, they're a good shooting team. Like, they have some guys that can knock down shots. Obviously, Pete Nance hit three. Chase Audige hit three. Bowie hit two. Bowie hit one also on a moving screen that we're fortunate that we got that call. But, yeah, they're a good team. They run a lot of good stuff. And, we knew, that this would be a tough game for us and a tough cover.
But just for your team to be able to kind of weather that and then come back and have a pretty decent second half, outside the last minute maybe. But.
Yeah, well, the start of the second half, they made shots again, but so did we. So we were kind of, matching each other. And Mason obviously had those back-to-back threes that were huge. And but they made shots to start the half. And, we were able just to, keep them at that 2 to 3 possessions. Then as the game progressed, which, obviously there at the end, we did do a good job handling some press, just, being able to pass and catch and get the ball in.
It seemed really important that your guards push the pace, get in the open floor, create offense off defense. Just how important was that with what they were able to do against Travion and Zach to a lesser extent?
Yeah, well, it's very important, to be able to steal some baskets and get in the open court. I thought, we did a good job of moving the basketball. We had some good looks that didn't go down for us. But, we opened some things up. Jaden did a good job of attacking. Actually had a couple plays where he was, too unselfish, where he passed it and we missed shots, and he would have probably gotten fouled, or got a layup, because it had opened up for him. But no, it was good to see our guys, try to push the pace and try to get some things out of transition.
Can you just kind of speak to what Jaden means to your mix offensively, his talent level in terms of that taking you up a whole other level sometimes?
No question. Yeah, he gives us, the ability to break people down. He gives us the ability to, to create a shot for himself, get to the rim. I thought he did a good job tonight. He had a couple things where he got too deep and just jump stopped and made a simple play. And that's, to somebody watching, it just looks like a very normal, simple play. But when you deal with guys that have that kind of athleticism and have that kind of ability to score, they're very confident. And at times they feel like they can take on too much. And it just, when you draw 2 to 3 people, just being under control and making that next play is really going to benefit your team. And so I thought he had a really good game and did some really good things for us.
That's exactly what he did, hitting Mason for those threes, right? Because they were paying a lot of attention to him coming around the corner.
Yeah, I know he definitely hit him for one of them. He also hit Isaiah in the corner for the one that he took in the corner in front of our bench. I know he had a couple others. I thought with our game, like, Aaron had a couple shots, good shots. Sasha had a couple, pretty good, shots right there. Jaden had a couple threes that were more or less wide open, that didn't go down. Eric Hunter had an open and then go down. So, for us, we felt like we were generating some pretty good shots on the perimeter. And then obviously trying to, go to Travion and go to Zach in the post.
How rusty do you think Sasha is, if at all?
Well, there's no doubt it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of an adjustment to come back. So this is great that he got a game under his belt, and, he played, close to 15 minutes and, made his free throws, which was great. Our whole team made their free throws. So it's kind of par for the course. You go 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3. It's kind of, to be frank with you, it's kind of what happens. I've rarely been around guys that have been out, because of injury. And this is obviously different with COVID, that they come back and they shoot the ball well. It just, It rarely happens. If you pay attention to it going forward, when guys miss 3, 4, 5, 6 games, you don't have the same reps. You just don't. And you can work out, you can go do what you want, but you've went, a long period of time. It just takes a little bit of time, a game, 2 games, to get your legs under you.
Ethan didn't play for the first time, I think, this season tonight. Is that just was that just game conditions, or is something he hurt?
No, not really. I planned on playing him, and it got in the game. And Jaden had played well in the first half, and then rotating Sasha in there, and just rotating our guards that come off the bench in there. And I was going to him a couple times, and it just didn't. I was staying with somebody that I was keeping the matchup defensively with Eric Hunter,
right.
And I wish I could have got him in there.
I just want to make sure he wasn't hurt. I'm good. Thanks.
No, all right. Thank you,
Mike. What did you like about what Zach was doing tonight for you to keep him on the floor? I know Travion had some foul trouble, but what was Zach doing for you tonight?
Rebounding the basketball. He got bottled up a couple times down there. He's got to learn just to make a move. Not everything can be a layup. Just to make a move and go to his post moves. And but he drew a lot of fouls, and rebounded the basketball, made his free throws. So he was just solid. Just did a good job. And so we just kind of stuck with him there. And then we were going back. I was going back with Travion, under that 4 minutes, but I didn't want to sub him, on the defensive end. I didn't want him to get come in and get his fifth foul. But then when all that was happening, Zach made 4 straight free throws, and we just stuck with him.
Kopp only has 5 points for them. What was the key defensively for you guys in that situation?
Just trying to stay with him. With Boo Booey and Audige and Miller Kopp, and those guys are all three different, but they're all talented. And obviously Pete Nance has a great game. Audige has a great scoring game. But just trying to stay with Miller Kopp, make it difficult for him, be there on the pin downs, try to send him another direction and out of bounds plays and on those wide pins, and not let him come off there and get into his rhythm. But he's a good player. You watch guys and sometimes you don't play them, earlier in the year. Last year we played him twice, but we haven't, played him until now. And watching film, I was really impressed with Miller Kopp. He's more than a shooter. Like, you just can't put him in that bucket. He can, play off the catch, play off a shot fake. He can get direct drive to the rim, play off a shot fake and get to his pull up. And hell, he's 6'8". He's a big old kid. So I thought our guys did a good job of just sticking with him and trying to disrupt him. The 1-3 he made, that was tried to run him off the line, and then Brandon came back and still contested, after running him off the line, and he shot a step back, and he was able to make that.
What's your concern level with what happened with the inbounds passes against the full court pressure?
Well,
late in the game.
Yeah, we have timeouts. Like, that's the crazy piece of it. It's like, just call a timeout. It's no big deal. We got 3 of them. We got to call 3, then call 3. It's not that big a deal. And those guys are cutting, and we're trying to give them space to cut. And Northwestern did a good job staying with them. And you come up there and bring a lot of people up there, you're going to bring more defenders with you. So you want space to be able to cut, and our guards got to do a better job of getting open. And if we don't feel good about those passes, we swallow the one and we don't call a timeout, then the other one we throw it, by his knees in the corner on a bounce pass. And we got to work on it. We got to do a better job than that. You've worked hard to put yourself in that position. Now don't give it back to them.
Your freshmen combined for 53 points, but the fact that they were on the floor late in this game and to close it out, does that speak to kind of where they're at in their development, and kind of what can this do for them as you continue on?
Well, yeah, it's February. They've played a lot, and so they've put themselves in good positions. And Zach, obviously we talked about him. He did some good things. Brandon Newman had a big time step back 3, late in the game. It was great to see Mason go 3 for 3. He's worked hard shooting the basketball, and when you don't get a lot of cracks at it, sometimes it's hard to shoot a good percentage. And so it's great to see Mason, knock that down. Obviously, we spoke about Jaden in the game that he played. And but yeah, our freshmen did a good job. I thought Isaiah Thompson did good things. And you play and you get out there, and it's hard when you don't play as much. But not turning the basketball over, is so important. And you look at our guards, their turnovers. We don't have very many turnovers from our guards in this game, and that's at the end of the day, that's key.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else? Tom?
I do, yep. And, man, everybody practices free throws and such, but when you have a game like this, where you make 23 out of 24, and certainly makes a difference. I mean, it's got to make you feel good, doesn't it?
No question. Like just to have the confidence of when people foul you, especially if you can get into the bonus. It's we throw the ball inside a lot, and and our guys will get frustrated because they put two hands on our back in games and just push, and they don't call it. And so, but they're obvious fouls that aren't being called. But like that's what you want. That's you want to force them to make those calls and then to get deep position and go right at them. And now you can get into that bonus. You can drive the basketball. You can post deep. You can crash the glass. And now just trying to get to that 7, then obviously get to that 10 to get the double bonus. But it's a great feeling when you're knocking down all your free throws and making the opponent pay for fouling you.
And with that playing at that faster pace too, it seemed like the decision making was pretty good most of the time too, right? Were you happy with that?
Yeah, we had a couple careless passes. Like I really thought we had some really nice setups that we didn't knock down, but the decisions were pretty good. We got carried away a couple times. We got bottled up at the post. We over penetrated a couple times, but that's kind of par for the course, and you just got to work your way through them.
I know Trevion had the 4 fouls, but was he banged up a little bit too? Or were you being careful with him or no?
No, he's all right.
Okay.
They're all banged up.
Yeah.
Northwestern's guys are all banged up. Everybody, you get to this
February.
point in the league, everybody's got something.
Yeah. I saw him walk around behind the bench. I didn't know if he was trying to shake something loose or not.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you, guys.